Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the show of the hungry people. It is your boy, Michael Patrick Buckley, and I'm here doing a solo episode today for you guys. So, guys, to recap last week's episode, Dr. Ben and I talked about the pros and cons of the medical industry. Not all of them, just some of them. And if you guys did listen to that episode, uh, mainly the top pro that we see is that they're the best for acute disease, acute illness, life-saving medicine. I mean, we would not be here if we did not have what we have today. I mean, it's just crazy to see these advances in technology. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in 5, 10, 15 years. I mean, even next year. It's like everything just keeps getting more and more advanced. People keep getting smarter and smarter. It's like it's pretty it's pretty cool. Uh and then we talked about some of the cons that we see. A lot of it being around money. It is a business, and you're in business to what? Make money. So I do believe that a lot of these doctors, I really do think they care about their patients, and I think they want the best for their patients. And you know, matter of fact, me myself, I haven't been to the doctor in a while, not on purpose. I actually reached out to someone who knows some good doctors here in Pittsburgh, and I plan on going probably sometime in September and October, whenever I find time, to like actually get a PCP and maybe even get blood work. I haven't had blood work done. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how long. But even just years ago, like the first thing they would do is just prescribe an antibiotic or a medication or um, anything like that. And it just, I don't know. It's really hard. Like I can't really say anything because I have no say. Like who am I to say that you shouldn't be doing this or shouldn't be taking that? I don't know, but I just feel like there's just so much out there that you can learn about and do your best to fix on your own rather than just having to depend on someone else. And I think that's really what a lot of it is just depending. And I mean, I think it's okay to be dependent on stuff. Matter of fact, I have a buddy who he says that I don't think his liver produces enough enzymes, and he does say that he actually has to take medication for that. So like you could say that he is dependent on that. And I know people now who are surviving just because of their medication. But I feel like it is such a like a it's such like a wishy-washy um subject. It's just it can be really hard to dive into that kind of stuff with a lot of people, and it's almost like not worth conversing about. Especially because like my knowledge on that kind of stuff isn't top tier yet. So how can I really have a strong opinion on it? But I will say, like, I am more of a believer of your lifestyle and uh like following the laws of nature, getting enough sleep, exercising, getting enough sunlight, breathing fresh air, eating nutritionally dense whole foods, and I think even most people would say that, like, yeah, like that's what we should do. And like that should be like one of the top steps in really moving towards a healthy lifestyle and a healthy body. But it's not to take away that medications and drugs that are out there are life saving and can really help so many people. So, anyways, with that said, let's get into the episode today, guys. Actually, matter of fact, one more thought, one more statement, a couple of statements actually. So tomorrow I am leaving for Princeton. I'm gonna go visit a buddy down there for just a day, stay overnight, hang out with him, and then I'm gonna go into Brooklyn for a couple days and hang out with Jenna. She's actually been on the show here, and then we have the Woodstock Fruit Festival coming up here. So if you are listening to this after this all happened, today is August 15th, 2022. So within that 2 week period there, that's what I'm doing, all this kind of stuff. But I'm really excited to get out there to meet a bunch of new people at Woodstock, to even go explore New York a little bit, and to be in Princeton. It's gonna be so cool. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this episode. Oh my gosh, this is actually crazy. Matter of fact, AJ sent me this this post from New York Post, this article about a guy who I'm not gonna say I'm in close contact with him, but we've had some interesting conversations over the past 6 months, and I feel like he really has found trust in me over social media. And I'm not gonna share like a lot of our conversation, but I will talk about some of the stuff that we went over because I think it's really important to bring to your attention. So, if you guys don't mind, I'm actually gonna read two articles that I found on this subject or what's going on here. Um, so this one's by the New York Post. It says anti-vegan NYC insole threatened to shoot up upstate fruit festival feds. I mean, that alone is scary. I mean, like, dude, it's the Woodstock Fruit Festival. Like, there's just so many loving, caring, giving, genuine, nice people that are like, no one's trying to hurt anybody. It's like if you're trying to find like warriors for the army, you're not going to Woodstock. You're going to Woodstock to like find people who want to like hold you and cuddle you. Which it's funny. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't people there who are like that. But yeah. So I'm gonna read this first article here. A vegan hating self-described insole from Brooklyn made a series of death threats against an upstate fruit festival, ranting about shooting up the, in quotes, Jewish meetup and telling an organizer he would, in quotes, do a fucking Ted Bundy, end quotes, to her, federal prosecutors alleged Tuesday. That's pretty, wow, that's scary. William Swift of Brownsville was arrested Tuesday morning and charged in Brooklyn federal court with menacing organizers and attendees of the Woodstock Fruit Festival, including in emails and audio recordings beginning in February of this year, according to a complaint against him. The messages included threats of orchestrating a mass shooting and stabbing people associated with the festival, a yearly health and wellness event in Diamond Point scheduled for later this month, according to the court documents. Thanks for just giving away the location of Woodstock. Now people are going to come up there and kill us all. No, I hope not. Good thing I'll be in my tent in the farthest corner of the of the campground. So anyways, in quotes, the ideal thing would be to go to Woodstock to shoot up the Jewish meetup. That would be ideal, end quotes. He allegedly said in one of the disturbing missives. Swift allegedly made sinister threats against an unnamed woman who helps organize the events, invoking serial killer Ted Bundy in an audio recording sent to her, according to the feds. In quotes, I'm sorry to say this, but I can't stop fantasizing about doing very, very, very bad things to you. I don't have a plan. I just fantasize about doing very, very, very bad things to you, end quote. The sicko allegedly said on the recording. He added that he fantasized about doing, okay, we've already heard this before, a fucking Ted Bundy to her, unless she shut down the festival, which bills itself as a celebration of health, fruit-based diet, and personal growth, and as the world's largest all-inclusive raw vegan health retreat. In May, the nutjob allegedly threatened to kill someone associated with the event if he ever saw them in New York City. It's kind of funny that they say nutjob. Like, isn't there any more professional terms you could use a nutjob? I mean, not that it's not true, but wow, this is a bit vulgar. In quotes, hey, piece of shit, bitch, I want to make something clear. Woodstock Fruit Festival is over. Blank retreats, because the name's not there, are over whether you like it or not. If I see you, you'll regret coming to New York City and you will feel my pain, he wrote in an email according to the complaint. On his Instagram page, Swift rallied against veganism and fruitarianism after he apparently split from the lifestyle which promotes solely eating raw fruits and vegetables. I swear to God, I hate vegans and raw vegans. I'm not a fruitarian anymore. I'm not a fruitarian anymore. He wrote in one emoji-filled post. In a memo seeking his detention filed Tuesday, federal prosecutors said Swift is a self-described insult who was arrested by the NYPD in July for telling a friend that he fantasized about shooting up Washington Square Park. Wow. Incels are men who claim to be voluntary celibate and have lashed out with violence, usually targeted at women, in incidents across the country. In 2014, a self-described incel killed 6 people and injured 14 others in a misogynistic rampage in California. Attorney information for Swift was not immediately available. Reps for the Fruit Festival did not immediately respond. It was clear if Swift has a connection to the event or organizer. It was unclear if Swift, he doesn't. Their retreat hosts a number of activities for adults, including evening campfires, yoga, and mud parties, where participants lather themselves with sludge, according to its website. So, I mean, there you go. There's Woodstock for you in 7 words. How could you want to shoot that up, right? No, but I kind of have a good reasoning why. Now, there was another article by the Daily Mail. This one's a little longer. I'm not gonna read it all. I'm gonna put both these articles in the description. So if you want to read this one, you can. I just thought that was good to read to if you weren't at your desk and you are just listening to this on the podcast form. But this one's titled "Vegan Hating Insole is Arrested After Making a Series of Death Threats Against the Woodstock Fruit Festival and Sending Audio Recording to Organizer Threatening to Do a Fuck Ted Bundy to Her Unless She Shut Down the Event." Now, this one's a little more detailed, I feel like, and definitely sounds much better, much more professional in some regard. But yeah, there's actually pictures of him on here. There's pictures of Woodstock. Yeah. Anyways, what's really going on here? You know, and I think a lot of it is it may be mental illness, but just from what I got with him based off his conversations is that it's disordered living patterns, disordered eating patterns turning into mental health issues. And it's really sad to see. Now, I think he came into this lifestyle about 7-8 years ago, and I'm not sure if he's ever gonna hear this. I'm not sure if he's gonna be back on social media, if his account is locked. It's not locked because I'm looking at our conversation right now. But I mean, once again, I don't want to really. I don't know. I don't know how far to take this, because a lot of stuff is personal and it's personal to him, and I don't want to. What's the word? I mean, I guess just make him look bad. But I mean, how can I make him look any worse than he already looks? I mean, he wants to shoot up the Woodstock Fruit Festival. I mean, that's not very good. So a lot of I kind of want to give you maybe an overview of some of the stuff we talked about. So he was actually at the last Woodstock Fruit Festival and he was playing music there. And I think he got kicked out or they told him to stop playing. Not sure if maybe they just didn't like him or not. But yeah, so I think he just got into this stuff about 7-8 years ago. And, when you're really looking for a fix, when you're looking for a cure, or when you're looking for the silver lining at the end of the tunnel, or the light at the end of the tunnel, you almost do anything. And I feel like that's what a lot of these pioneers I'm not going to say Woodstock, but just the pioneers for the raw food movement try to make it seem. And it's almost like they do the best they can, not on purpose, but they do the best they can to pull you in and reel you in and show you this is the way, and it's the only way, it's the best way. But I'm also not saying that it's just the raw foodists, even look at Paul Saladino, look at Sean Baker, look at all those kind of guys in the carnivore and meat heavy movement. Even people in the Ray Pete community. And I mean, there's all these different kind of communities out there. They all have their own vision. They all have this is the best, this is right. And there's just I wish there was more agreement. I wish there was more hey, like, cool, like, you can do that. I mean, I guess they do say that, hey, if you're vegan, that's great. I'm over here eating my steak though because I'm a man. So anyways, they on their post on Instagram, I feel like they try to like steer you away from certain foods and say like, oh, cooked food's bad. Oh, salt's bad. Oh, sugar's bad. Oh, never eat oil. Oh, uh, if you do this, make sure you eat this fruit. Like, make sure you do this first. Oh, don't eat this fruit with that fruit. Food combining, which, yeah, like I think a lot of that can have beneficial effects in the body, and sometimes I'm sure there is validity there. Oh, do a juice fast because you have a mucoid plaque in your body and you gotta get rid of everything. Like, there's just there's a lot of theories out there that a lot of these like raw food people will talk about and whatnot. And um I think if you're not actually working with somebody, you're not actually working with a professional, or even one of them. Even though I'm not sure if I would really trust them, I would rather go to I'd rather just go to a doctor and like talk about these kind of like thoughts and theories that I have with them. That would be a better option, actually. Um, but there are legitimate people out there who are uh qualified to talk about this kind of stuff. And matter of fact, like someone like Mike Preen, Everyday Detox, he's a great guy to talk to this kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, even like go to someone like him will be awesome. And I don't like he's not a doctor. He goes to doctors. He has his own doctor. But he is he is fruitful with knowledge with a lot of lifestyle and health related stuff like that it'd be good to talk to someone like that is pretty much what I'm saying. Instead of just like doing it on your own, thinking that you can make it all great and everything's gonna work out awesome. Uh so I think that's and with this kid's case, I'm not sure if that's the truth. Maybe he did have like someone who he looked up to and he talked to every day and he was going to them and this and that. But based on our conversation, it didn't really seem like that was it. So um all right. So he talked about Nico Avocado a lot in our conversations here. So that guy, he was a raw vegan. He was actually at Woodstock. I think there's videos online still of him who or not who. Yeah, videos of him on his page, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure. But I think you can definitely find videos of him where he's like at Woodstock, eating raw fruits and vegetables, and he's like super like he's like so skinny and then all of a sudden he turns into like this demon, and he just like look at him now. Like, if you do not see this guy, like if you're just type in, actually let me do it now. I think that's what it is. Nico avocado. Let me see here. Nikado avocado. Is that what it is? Yeah, Nikado avocado. Just type it on YouTube. He should be on like he's probably 400 pounds now. I mean, the dark past that led to Nico Cotto avocado's transformation. It's like a what's the it's just hard to say. Nico Cotto avocado. So he would bring up this guy, Nico Avocado, William, in our conversations that we had, and he's like, dude, it's an eating disorder is what he had. And that's what caused him to just go on this outbreak, and he can't deal with this life. Like, he just can't deal with it anymore. And that's the thing, is that I feel like that's what a lot of these raw foodist people do to you. And it's not, I don't want to say it's on purpose. It's not on purpose. Like, they're like these doctors, like they really want the best for you. They really want you to feel good. They really want you to reach your full potential. But I think a lot of it, they just don't know the long-term benefits for you and your body and what you may need. Like, they'll say, oh, go on a juice fast for 30 days. But it's like, do you really need that? I don't necessarily think you do need that. Like, maybe you need more juice, but like, I don't think you need a juice fast. And I feel like this is like kind of hard for me to like let out and explain, but I saw it myself too. Like I would see these people post online and they would like, I mean, I talked about it already, but like they make you scared to eat other foods. And it's just not a healthy way to live your life. And I feel like once you get to that breaking point of like, wow, what am I doing? And then you like venture out and eat other foods and try other stuff. You're like, holy shit. And then there's like there's this force in your body that you just can't get rid of. And it just wants more and more and more and more and more. And it just creates like bad eating habits and all this kind of stuff. Um, it's just sad. And I feel like that's the case for William here is that I really think that he created an eating disorder around raw veganism and fruitarianism. Um, and it's kind of interesting too because and this is actually the biggest part of it all is that it seems like he blames the raw food pioneers or the people that he followed for all the stuff that he's going through. But like you got to realize, man, this is your fault. This is no one else's fault but yourself, and uh you may have been persuaded easily, you may have been put in a vulnerable situation, but this is your fault. And even for me and everything that happened with myself and my raw vegan journey and um what I learned, that's on me. Like and it's hard to say now, or it's hard to say back then, but like right now, you just wish you would have seen everything that happened along the way before you did it all, right? So like there's just so much that I've learned and I just man, like I don't want to say not to do something like that and not go through those steps, but it's almost like you do kind of have to go through it for yourself to experience. But at the same time, I'm at this point in my life, and I can tell you right now that like you don't necessarily have to be a fucking raw vegan to heal anything or to heal your issues. You can do. There's other stuff that you can do. Matter of fact, let's use even Gil Jacobs for example, like Mike Perrine's boy from Everyday Detox. I listened to a bunch of his stuff with Mike, and he healed by drinking juice, eating fruits, and doing salads and sweet potatoes. And he like never didn't fast. He didn't do anything crazy. I think he was doing colonics, but like he ate cooked food and he healed himself. I think there was a story Raw Vegan Ginger put up. She said that I think it was her uncle or something, like healed his colon cancer by pretty much everything stayed the same in his diet, but he started drinking carrot juice, and he supposedly healed his colon cancer. And I'm not sure like the exact details of all that and everything, but I just saw her post about it one day. So like to really think that you have to be a raw vegan and that you have to eat such a restrictive diet and live that way. I mean, it's just like it's so hard and I mean even the other day like like I still do a lot of that stuff. I still juice and I still eat a ton of fruit and I will say it's a lot. Like I was thinking, wow, it'd be easier if I just fucking had a Cliff Bar right now than like legit take 10-15 minutes to pull every single grape off of the stem and put it in a container so that I can take it to golf with me the next day. Like it'd be easy just like bring a Cliff Bar and just eat that instead. But that's also how much I care about this and how much I care for my body. Not that I'm saying that eating Cliff Bar would be bad. But damn, those grapes did taste good. And it's like juicing. Like the other day, I juiced. It took me an hour to juice. Like, and I know it's just an hour. We have a lot of time in our day, but recently, there's been so much shit going on. It's like, is that the top priority for me? Is juicing? Like, I think for a lot of people, they just don't even realize what their top priorities are, and they don't. Matter of fact, they don't take their health into account, and that's why for me, I do that. Like, I put my health first, and I know that juicing should be a big part of that for me, and eating fruit is a big part of that for me. So I like it's worth it to take the time and make the time, even though it does take a lot of time. I said time like 20 times to actually get the job done and make it work. Like it's worth it. But I still think with that, like, wow, like, oh my gosh, it does just it takes a while. But at the same time, it's like once it's done, it's like easy stuff, fruit, blah blah blah. Like, oh, the grapes are there, cool, eat them. Even just fruit in general, it's just so eat. Like if you have a ripe banana, boom, dates, boom. You can even make a smoothie. Smoothies don't take long to make. Make a smoothie. But the whole point of all of this is that there really is. It's it's just so easy to create disordered eating patterns and have an eating disorder, which I think are two different topics or two different situations, scenarios there. Eating disorder and disordered eating. Matter of fact, Jenna would be a good one to talk about that with. But it's so true. And you see it all the time with people here. And I feel like a lot of it is when you restrict. Matter of fact, if I had to be like raw vegan again, like I would I don't care. I would do like hot sauce. I would do like mustard. I would do sauces. I wouldn't restrict myself with it in that regard. Like I legit wouldn't even touch mustard. Like I was scared to do mustard. I was scared to like add hot sauce to something. Like you can't do it. But then it's like, oh well, you go out and you can, if it's a raw vegan fatty nuts and seed type cheesecake, like that's okay. It's like what? It's really confusing. Um it's actually not confusing, but that's like where I feel like you just got to do what's best. Well, you got to do what feels good. Like, okay, if that feels good for you, all right. But like, I can eat cooked food and still get plenty of health benefits, if not more, maybe. Um, but yeah, the overall factor that I see here going on with this kid's issue is that he created these disordered patterns in his life, and um once again, it's him to blame. But he didn't know. You don't know until you actually like learn and experience it. I wish there was like a I don't know. I don't know how to say it because you wish it was different. Like, I follow people like Simon Hill, and there's some other doctors who I follow on here on Instagram who really are promoting like a good message for health. And they're even like, hey, it's okay to supplement. Take a supplement. It's okay. Like soy's healthy. Eat tofu. Drink soy milk. But like the raw vegans would say, no, don't do this because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, don't eat starch because it's like paste and glue in the body. Like they scare you with that kind of stuff. And that's where it's like, oh, I'm never eating rice. I'm never eating potatoes. Sorry. It's just it's actually really scary what can happen. And this is exactly something that can happen. Um, Anyways, I kind of want to move on from this disordered eating stuff. I feel like I've been talking about it for fucking, sorry for my French, for like 9 minutes now or 10 minutes. But yeah, a lot of what we talked about too is like his deformed body and how raw veganism created that in himself, and how all he wants to do is eat meat and eat steak, and he hates vegans. And um we have like we were sending tons of voice messages back and forth to each other, kind of like AJ and I would. But I was even telling AJ, like, dude, there's something wrong with this kid. Like, I was sending him screenshots. I'm like, he wants to fucking shoot up Woodstock. I'm not sure why I'm laughing at that, but he even says here, he says, I actively try to cancel Woodstock Fruit Festival, the death cult. um I know I said that like I didn't want to really say anything that we talked about in our conversation, even though I just did that. Because it is private and I do want to respect him. Um, but man, it's just sad, like wanting to cut off your body, not even being able to shower without clothes on. Like he says he has to shower with clothes on. Wow. I kind of want to like I don't know. Like, do I read some of this stuff? He just having issues with alcohol, drugs now. I feel like you just kind of go off the deep end once stuff doesn't click anymore. Um, Wanted to cut off body parts. I mean, by the way, if you're just listening on the podcast right now, I'm just looking at our conversations. So that's why I'm kind of like going back and forth here. Um, wow. Making it seem like it's a religion. And he would just keep like saying the same stuff over to me again. Like legit, just like repeating everything he's saying. And I'm like, dude, I know. I'm like, I know. Like I don't I just really had to ignore him. I was strong and fit like you before I found this psycho death cult. I went crazy as a sober raw vegan. I cut my chest off and stomach and armpits off surgically. All right, that'll be enough of that. Yeah, it's really sad to see, and I really hope that he does not come to Woodstock and he does not shoot anybody up. Um, and I just read some of the stuff from our conversation, so I guess I didn't respect that, but I had to share. I had to share. So you know, a lot of this stuff just really makes me think deep down about issues and health and what's health really all about. Because you get a situation like this, and it's really hard to deal with. It's really hard to see, actually. You don't want to see someone go through this. You don't want to see someone have mental health issues and want to shoot up and kill people. And I'm sure we can see that everywhere, not just in the food community, not just with health, but just everything. What's the one show that just came out, actually? I Just Killed My Dad, it's called. Yeah, the documentary. I Just Killed My Dad. I watched a trailer yesterday. It looks insane. But people just make you go like some stuff, and some people just make you go nuts and you can't deal with it anymore. And you need more carbs. You need more sugar. Nah. You just gotta, I don't know, you just gotta go deeper. And I think if anything, you just gotta find other passions in life. And you gotta do stuff. It's almost like you gotta do stuff to forget about that and to like move past it. But is that really getting to the root of the issue though, too? Like how do you get to the root of the issue? That go to a therapist? Is that gonna help? What if you show your therapist? Man, it's just oh my gosh. Someone wanted to shoot up Woodstock Fruit Festival. Well, hopefully I'll be back with another episode in a couple weeks if I stay alive. Um yeah, man. You just hate to see it. And you can really just only hope for good things for him, and that he finds peace within himself, and that he can find the silver lining, you know. So let's really hope that this doesn't happen. Let's hope that everyone's safe and happy at Woodstock this year. And I will definitely be reverting back and coming back with how it all went after Woodstock. So anyways, guys, I think that's all I have for you today. I would like to do more about this. I would like to keep going. But I think that's gonna be it. The biggest points that I wanted to make here today is don't take everything as truth. You cannot do that. Just can't do it. There's some stuff that you can experience with yourself. You can try it yourself, and you can see if it works. And if it doesn't, you can change it up and you can add stuff in. But you just can't take someone's word as as God. You just can't do it. I mean, heck, there's atheists out there who believe there are no God. What about, was what they saying true? I don't know. We all have our own opinions, but you really got to find someone you trust and who's promoting a lifestyle and diet that's actually sustainable. And matter of fact, I know this sounds crazy, but look at Durian Rider. I mean, he's changed over the years. When you see his videos back in 2013, you see him like skinny face. I think he was still raw vegan then. Doing those big banana smoothies, and doing a big salad with probably fruit before that. And then he got into doing like the rice and the starch, and because he realized that like, oh, you're actually not getting enough calories as a raw vegan, which I can sort of agree with, kind of. Um, so he started out in white rice and maybe brown rice. I don't know, but he loves the white rice and potatoes and doing pizzas and like black bean burgers and whatever, all that kind of stuff. But like obviously high carb. He probably only had that occasionally. And now he just kind of like, it seems like he just eats whatever he wants, but like high carb still for the most part. I mean, he eats like candy now, and okay, that's fine. Just like everyone else. Everyone eats candy, right? Just like every human being out there. So, but my point here is that, I mean, he's still preaching the same message though. High carb, low fat. Even if it is candy, that's high carb, low fat, and I'm like, it'll keep you lean. I mean, I feel like if I ate candy, I feel like it would actually keep me lean still. I wouldn't gain weight. But like, I don't want to eat candy. I'd rather just eat fruit. But yeah, but yeah, like someone like him, I mean, he has results. He seems like he's doing well. I mean, he's not promoting some unsustainable diet. It's not restrictive at all, it seems like. I think he is a good example, even though everyone hates him. Not everyone hates him, but he gets a lot of hate, gets a lot of flack. But I mean, what he's doing, he's still doing it, still on it. So I think it can be really hard to find someone to trust on here. It really can be. But it's also like, if you just take every food in the vegan world and say, hey, you can have as much of this as you want, don't be restrictive. I feel like that's almost the best way to look at it. And I think we do see that people who are less restrictive on plant-based diets and plant-based lifestyles and ways of eating, they do last a lot longer than the people who are crazy restrictive and think that you can't have a potato because it's cooked food, or you can't have lentils and beans, or you can't have tofu, or you can't have any salt, or even add any sugar to your food. I mean, if you want to be that restrictive, good luck. You may end up like William, but I hope not. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it today. So stay up, be great. Always keep it 100.